I'm going to show you how to use FumeFX with Redshift. You need to have Redshift 3.0.17 or later, and at least FumeFX version 5.0.6. I have in my scene a small simulation, a simple one with a simple source and a fire and smoke. I have the channels here, fuel and smoke, and if I stop at any point and I start rendering in Redshift, I will not be able to see the fire. Now the new update in FumeFX and Redshift that you can actually render it without the need to import the VDB. To do that, the first thing you need to do is to go to render in FumeFX and change the volume shader from standard to Arnold/Redshift volume. When you select that, you have a new menu here with the used channel, smoke, fire, fuel, temperature, and color and velocity. And you need to check the channel that you want to render. Now the first thing you notice that the simulation disappeared. Unfortunately, this property does not support the GPU viewport display. This is why you need to turn it off and turn on voxel data display. Now the next thing you need to do is to apply a material. So you select FumeFX container, you go to material editor, and you select a Redshift volume. You apply this material to FumeFX container, and you start naming your channels. So you notice if you hover over the word smoke, to enable this option, use smoke channel inside. So you need to use the word smoke in the first channel here in the material. So I'll type smoke, and make sure to keep the S lowercase, not capital, because for some reason it doesn't work when it's capital. And I go to emission and I type fuel. Now if I change the fuel color to orange, just to get a sense of it, and try rendering again. Now you start to see the FumeFX simulation here. Now because it's so dark, that's because there is no lights. To do that, you need to turn on the volume properties in the lights. I have two lights here in my scene. They are both Redshift lights. So I need to select them and go to volume and turn on the contribution scale and make it 1. And immediately you start to see the influence of the light on the smoke. And select the other light and go to volume and change it to 1. Now you can play with the values. Now you can start playing with the values of the material. So let's say if I can duplicate the emission scale, or 3, to get a brighter fire. Or if you want to have more opacity of the smoke, you can change this number to 50, 35, or maybe 10. Let's give it 5. Give it 5. And this is it. This is how you render FumeFX in Redshift. Thanks a lot.